Hi,
Hey,
everybody. I'm Lori Gallagher. I'm here. I'm the co-leader of Team and Beyond in the video team, and with Bob, who is also the co-leader of Team and Beyond in the video team. And then we have Greg Gorman, who is one of our editors from Ireland, here to help contribute to this webinar on the editing section of it. Okay, so to start, we like to start off with the possibility and outcome. Does anybody have it's listed in the email that you were sent. So if you could call up the email on your computer or phone, that'd be very helpful, because we'll be going through a lot of information on the email. So did everybody get an email from us? That's how you knew about the webinar. Okay, so who can generate the global video team possibility and outcome that's on the top of the email? Who'd be willing to do that?
new share.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay, and who's that?
Dana?
Okay, yeah, I don't see your face up here, so just your number.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to,
I
okay,
had
so go ahead, Dana. Do you want to generate that?
Sure. The global video team is the possibility of vibrant, miraculous communication energizing the world. The outcome of the global video team is global leaders expanding love and connection with all of mankind.
Yay. Okay.
Yay!
And then in that, Dana, what are you present to right now, newly?
I'm present to that I have support.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah. Great.
Good. Okay, great. All right. So in that, Bob lost it again. So, so welcome to the first webinar of the quarter. And what we want to do is give you an overview of how to create your video, or to get an idea of what you want to get out of this webinar as well. Like, is everybody here interested in creating a video, or are some people interested in editing, or what is it that you are up to, right, for the video team in particular and this webinar? So Jennifer, you're creating a video, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you want to should we just go around really brief, like 5 seconds each, and say, hi, I'm Jennifer, I would like to create a video this quarter, kind of like that. So I'm Lori,
Sure.
I'm a co-leader of the video team, and I'm here to get you set up powerfully to play along with us. So go ahead, Jennifer, you go next.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from the Orange County Las Vegas Center, and I'm interested in creating a video around my breast cancer charity and bicycle ride fundraiser.
Awesome.
Great.
Okay, and Violet, what's your real name?
My name's Rodney Rugi. I'm from the LA Center in Los Angeles. And last quarter, I started a video blog, and I'm just kind of curious about the whole thing, all the different parts of it, so that I can make a bigger impact and have it be really streamlined and easy when I do that kind of stuff. But I also just want to see what I can do to contribute.
Okay, great. So, okay, so I get that you have your own video blogging, and you want to see if you can collaborate this with that to make that smoother, and then also to see what you can contribute to us. So I like a collaboration. And
Right.
You're on team as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Angeles.
yeah, Team LA. Okay, got it. All right, I don't know who else is on. Do you want to call names out, Bob?
Yeah, just Let's see, we also have,
Is Eric on there? Oh, no, that's just his. Okay, who else would like to introduce themselves?
Jennifer.
She already did.
Okay. We have 10. Yeah, yeah, just keep on going. Whoever hasn't introduced.
Okay, Dana. My name is Dana Weiss. I'm in the New York Center, and I'm doing a piece on freedom from something called spiritual attack, paranormal activity, essentially.
Okay, great. And you want to create a video?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry. Yes,
good.
I want to create a video.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Well, do you want me to introduce myself?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Greg. I mean, do you want me to introduce myself?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, my name's Greg. Can you hear me okay? Yeah?
Yep.
Can you all hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
my name's Greg Gorman from Ireland. I am a resource for video production, which I do, and I'm here to be a resource for any questions anybody may have about creating a video, how to structure it, and anything you need to know about how to leave a video very edit friendly for your editor, whoever that may be. I do take on to edit a video if need be, but there's other people have their own editors, but it's about how to structure the video so you leave it easy for the editor to have workability around creating it. So that's
Good.
me.
Awesome. And that's very important. Okay, who else didn't go? Everybody?
I think that's everyone.
Okay. All right, good. So then go ahead, Bob. I'll let you get to the program.
Okay, yeah, they may be in a place that they can't speak, so.
That's fine.
Yeah, so we'll just roll forward. Can everyone see the video production timeline here? I have it up on the screen here. So everyone should have this in their email. It has 2 team weekends on the same timeline. So this, of course, is when our call time is and when our how to contact us. And so the first page, this is the quarter that just passed. I'm just scrolling past that. And then this is our contact information. So I want to go briefly through sort of the timeline and the milestones. Things do move through the quarter in a kind of a rapid pace. So April 9th is video draft is due. So we have a timeline here. We're designing this so people do work. So we want everyone to win at this game, unfold their video, be in action, create ongoingly, not be attached to an outcome, and be really powerful in what we're creating here. So so we're out to make you work, okay, or to win, okay? Just take steps in communication. We're here for you. Lori and I, and we have busy lives, so you have to be a demand for our feedback. Don't send us an email, and if you don't hear anything in a day or 2 days, get on it. Be upset. Just keep on trying, okay? So anyway, about that. So about this quarter. Okay, so as you can see here, the last video was presented in London, February 15th. There was Australia, New Zealand, and North America. I see there's a typo here. I guess it is a typo here. So last weekend was North America and Australia, and this weekend is North America, or India.
India, yeah.
Okay. So let's work our way down the little box here. So you'll see March 5th and March 12th. So March 5th is the next milestone. So I'm going to kind of briefly go into what makes a video script, but we want you to take a stab a first attempt at a video draft. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be correct. Don't be attached to it. It's just supposed to be an effort. And also what we want is a copy of your game in the world sent across with that too. So we get an idea of who's on your team, why you're playing this game, what sort of events. Because if we see what your game in the world is, we'll see the type of images you're going to be creating. If it's an event, is it a web series? Is it a, what's another example of a game in the world?
There's lots. So
There's
let's
lots,
just,
yeah. So
yeah, so let's just go through here first, right? And then so these unfoldings with the milestones, okay? And then you all have this particular document in your email, right? So the email that you were sent out has all of this information in it, correct, Bob?
yeah,
Right. So we'll just go through this briefly, and then the script. Once you submit a script, you'll get a coach right away, and then your coach will be able to walk you through the details as well. So the main thing that we're looking for is to get that draft script in by the March 5th or prior to that, right? That's the deadline, right? Now, if you don't have it by then, can you still do it? Yes, you can, but then you're already working behind the time frame. So you have to, the main one is when your video is due, your video draft, okay? You don't start your video until you get your script aligned, okay? Because your video is going to be images of what you're saying on the script. So that's and then we'll go through what a script is and what a script isn't. But let's just go through the unfolding, and then we'll get to the script. We'll get to the briefly each part. Go ahead, Bob.
okay, perfect. So yeah, like Lori says, like say if you don't make the March 5th, you have to, declare a breakdown and make a repromise and then move things forward. And the important milestones are the ones that are in here, red. Okay, we want you to really get a video draft into us by April 9th. April 16th is even a more important milestone because that's below here, April 19th, we start, we select an outline, a draft outline for the weekend video, okay?
Right. So our deadline to have this presentation work in the next weekend is the April 16th, okay? So we need to have your final, is it the final script or the
final,
video?
your final video draft for
Yeah, that's the final video draft, right?
Right.
So these are all unfolding prior to that, to having your video complete for this next coming weekend.
Okay, so I am, and in understanding that now, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I would like to have a website set up prior to viewing the video. So I would, instead of applying this quarter, could I apply the next quarter?
Yeah, so you don't, so you can start your video now, you can start your script now, you get things up, and if it doesn't get complete by our dates, then you can go ahead and, continue working on it for the following weekend. These are just the unfolding for this current weekend, and you can start it.
Thank you.
Sometimes it takes many times it takes more than one quarter. Okay.
Okay,
so
great.
If you're really intentional, and some people are like, okay, I'm team 2 quarter 4 and I need to have this done complete.
Right.
This is my only chance to do it. Then you'll be way more intentional in getting everything complete right away. And it doesn't take that long if your game is moving and you have footage and you do a script and you put it together. You can put it together pretty quickly, but when you don't have your game set up, then it is more powerful to have your team in place and your website already set up and your game already in action, having some
Yes.
outcomes,
Yes.
what you're committed to, all that.
Yes.
That is so your team won Q1, and I
Yes.
acknowledge you being in the listening of even creating a huge game and having it unfold into a video. And
Thank you.
you may not be ready to create the video yet, and I get that.
Right. Got it. Yes.
And you can still
Thank you.
be creating the script and
Yes,
setting it up
yes.
powerfully as you go along, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start it. And the outcome of the video script is a side thing, is your enrollment share about what you're up to and what you are creating. And it's your elevator speech, you know, your 30-second elevator speech. Oh, I was touched by this thing and this thing, and then this happened and that happened. You know, come join me. Come join my team. So for team one, Q1, to be in that conversation is just as impactful. You may not have impactful outcome to talk about, but you're going to need the tools to enroll others into what you're creating.
Yeah.
And for everybody, no matter where you're at in your game, you can still do your script and you could create a video, right? Being what you're up to and what you're planning. Like it doesn't have to be complete, because really our games in the world you can complete a game in the world, but you can keep playing, and not all your outcomes have to be met. It's more about what your game is, what you're up to, what you're creating with it, what you're committed to creating, like what you have so far, but what you're committed to creating. So it can be more powerful if you've already got it set up. And I really acknowledge that you say, I would like to have my website set up first. Yeah, that'd be great. Like in your script, you could be like, I'm committed to creating a website and having it up and running by this date and having it available to so many viewers and like that. So it could be like that as well. Okay. But what you do need to have is teams and teamwork. You have to have people enrolled. Okay.
Right.
All right. So go ahead. Continue on, Bob.
Okay. And this brings up another point, that some people plan like a big event at the end of the quarter. So what you need to do is more or less, because the video draft deadline is April 9th, and the final video draft is April 16th. So plan your event midway through the quarter, and let's say April 9th, it hasn't happened yet. You can put some placeholder images in there of something else. And then like if you're gonna play games, you can have images of people playing games, and then by the time you're making revisions for the leaders at Landmark, let me see here, video leaders, yeah, so May 3rd, like the world leaders at Landmark start providing feedback. You can have placeholder images. You can set those images in and out, okay? But your script has to be finalized. You can't compose your whole video in the last, in May, because it's like your enrollment share is still your enrollment share. That doesn't matter if your event is past or in the future. And I think that kind of covers the timeline. Greg,
all right, so that covers the
script. We're covering the script portion of the timeline, and Greg will have a second webinar that addresses more of the video making portion of the webinar.
Right, but let's have Greg, because just to be intentional, it's 9:23 and Greg wants to be off by 9:30. So let's have Greg just introduce like his end as a video editor and what he would be looking for to set up a video editor powerfully you know, and he's not going to necessarily be your editor. So once, and
Can
we're
you hear
not
me, guys?
either, but you know, there are different ways to enroll an editor. So you can pay an editor if you choose to. You're allowed to. It's not part of the game in the world where you can't pay. You can choose to pay an editor, or you can edit it yourself. And we have editing webinars on how to use different softwares. Bob's really good at that as well. He uses DaVinci Resolve. And then there's probably, I'm going to guess that Violet, I'm looking for your name here again, that he might have some ideas as well. But so just for the next 5 minutes or so, let's have Greg just give you how to set up your files to make it easy for editing. Okay, so go ahead, Greg.
Okay, hi guys. As an editor, which makes it easy to work and have workability in editing, is that your vivid share would be keep it around 54 seconds long, because the video is going to be a minute long. So there's a kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end. So inside of those 3 paragraphs, or these 3 sections in the video, you want a little bit of a break, maybe for 2 to 4 seconds with music before you come on to the next part. So your video is going to be a minute, maybe a minute and 5 seconds long in total. Then there has to go credits on it. And so what I would suggest is you can pick music, or if you're looking for music for your video, you can find some on YouTube, which is copyright-free music on the YouTube library, or you can get it on Facebook. That's 2 places you can get music for free. It's quite a collection there. But to get your vivid share down first, and what I would suggest when you're practicing your vivid share, that you use a stop clock on your phone and time yourself. You know, say a bit, stop, say a bit, stop, say a bit, stop. You know, like on your it's like a countdown on your phone. That'll give you an idea of that you can share vividly and clearly about what your game is. And once you have that right, then what we're looking for, and everything that you talk about in the video, that you have supporting footage. So if you're talking about, for example, the football game, if it's something to do with football, for example, we're going to see football players, or you're going to see people kicking a football. If you talk about coaching the team, we're going to see the coach and the coach behind the scenes coaching the team. If you're talking about the people attending the game, we're going to see people coming through the turnstiles into the arena. You know, whatever we talk about, we want to see what you're talking about, so that it explains your vivid share and that it lands with the viewer. And to keep it as short as possible, elevator pitch style, if you like. And that when you have your supporting footage, if you can file it, when you take it, if you take, for example, with your phone or a camera, it's going to be a default file. You know, it could be like IMV 4738. That might be where we're starting off from one of the last time. But you can rename your footage when you put your footage, start filing it away. I would suggest you make a copy of the footage, just copy it onto another file, and then start to number it: shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. So when it lands with the editor, it's like building blocks. He puts in 1 block, number 2 block, number 3 block, and he knows where that's going to land. And also, if you can imagine your supporting footage, like if it's a big shot, which is classed, like for example, using the football example, if we're showing the football field with all the players in it, like a wide shot, that shot needs to sit for about 4 seconds to digest it, because there's a lot to see in that shot. But if it's close up of somebody tying a lace on a football shoe, that's a close up shot that only needs to sit for 1 second, 2 seconds tops, because we see there's a football shoe and he's tying his laces. You know, so if it's close up stuff, that stuff, you know, happens fast. It just we only need to see close-up stuff. If it's a cup of coffee, we only need to see it for 1 second, maybe 2 seconds. We don't need to see it for 6 seconds because we know it's a cup of coffee. But if it's a coffee factory and you're, for example, and you're looking at the whole factory and the whole work floor, that's a big shot. So we're going to let that shot breathe for about 4 seconds, maybe even 6 seconds. If it's a panning shot, say showing a lot of activity going on and machines and people operating them. So if you can understand, you can get the fact that a big shot needs to breathe longer than a close-up shot or a mid shot. You've got a close-up, a mid shot, and a big shot in most cases with a video. So your mid shot could be just, you know, 2 people standing doing something together. That shot only needs to last for 2 seconds, you know. But if there's a crowd of people in the room, we need to let that shot breathe so you can see there's a crowd of people in the room. And again, if you work with your timeline and figure, right, shot 1 is going to be 2 seconds. The next shot I want for 4 seconds. That's a big shot. The next shot's going to be 1 second. There might be, you may have photographs, but I would suggest use as much video as possible, moving shots, rather than photographs, because photographs have to be resized sometimes to fit the video screen, and they look a bit kind of, you might have 2 lines, black lines down each side of it, and sometimes when you resize them you lose the quality of them, and then they come up blurry when they're shown on the big screen at the weekend. So they might look fine on your phone or on your tally, but when you put it on a big screen you're going to lose resolution. So what else is there? So you have your vivid share. The editor is going to have basically maybe if you think in channels, imagine if you're looking at an editing suite, your first channel is your vivid share. That can be done with audio, or preferably do it as a selfie in your car, somewhere quiet, a small room where there's no echo. Don't do it in your bathroom or in the middle of a cathedral because it'll be very echoey. Do it somewhere where there's a dry sound, like in your car. Do a selfie if you can, talking to camera. And if you're doing it on your phone, make sure you find where the camera lens is. Don't look at the phone, because sometimes then your eyes are slightly off. You're not looking at the camera. So if you'll see that the camera, for example, on an iPhone's on the left-hand side. Always, if you're using your phone to make the video, use the phone on the side. Don't hold it up straight. Otherwise, we get a long shot with 2 black bars down each side of it in the video when you put it into the computer.
That's the horizontal position.
Right. And well, thanks,
Yeah.
Greg. I don't want people to, I know that we'll dive into more detail on our next webinar about the technology about putting this together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
But that was a lot of good information.
a lot of good information. Like, if you're gonna start, you can start gathering images for your video. Make sure you're holding the phone horizontally. Take the best photo.
Horizontally. Right.
Yeah. The term they use for that is landscape when you're holding your phone sideways, and portrait if you hold it up straight. So take all your photographs or do everything landscape. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And also keep your script really short, like Greg said. Well, if your first draft of your script is 1.5 minutes, we'll get it down to, excuse me, to the 55 seconds that really makes the images, because you're telling your story both in your words and in video. So
Right.
Video can speak so powerfully. I don't know if I'm sharing a script here. Did people see that for Eric?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay,
we
so
can
yeah,
see
he has images. He describes the images, and he's got his audios over to the left there, and his videos towards the middle there. So eventually, you'll get to this point that you're really have it all laid out. You know, the first step is getting that elevator share done. So then we can kind of build things off of that to get to this level. Anything else, Greg?
All right. Hold on.
Okay, guys.
we're gonna.
I have to shoot off. Is that okay? Do you have any
Yeah,
any
that's
quick
fine.
questions before I go?
No, that's
I can take another 5
Greg.
minutes.
so that's perfect. Thanks.
Thank
So let's. I have a 7-step document here.
So the
open.
7 steps document that we're going through now, that's also in this email. Okay, so we'll go through this quickly and then you guys can read through it more, you know, thoroughly. We also walk you through it as coaches during the quarter. So the first step is to get the script in. Once you get your script draft in, you'll be assigned a coach. Okay, but you won't be assigned a coach prior to that. Okay, so that's important. So now here's the script. The script is basically, it's a vivid share. Okay, it's a vivid share that then we add video. So the whole video is a video vivid share. Okay, and so we'll go through the elements that need to be in the vivid share for the team management leadership program. This is a video that's about what you get out of being on the team management leadership program, how you create teams and teamwork in that, and what you're up to. So what your game in the world is, what it's creating, what inspired you to play it, how you created teams and teamwork, and then like what a major breakthrough was for you in order to play this game, and then leave your audience or participants with a call to action or an impactful statement. Okay, so go through, can you pull the screen up more?
Oh, who did that?
Not me.
That,
Oh, that was
Did you
weird.
do that?
no, that was me. I was messing about. I just touched something else.
How did you get on there? Oh, here.
Yeah, I was looking at this option. I didn't see that before.
Wait, I got lost.
Annotate. Okay, let's do clear. Okay, clear all
Sorry
draw.
about that.
That's new. So let's go through this. So actually,
So I got out of here somehow. Let me
Okay.
see.
so now we know that people can actually draw on the screens here. Like,
That's a good thing.
anyway, that's amazing. So we have these elements here. So we have your name, team name, and name of the game. So that's the intro that actually we're going to create. So you don't need to have in there. So this thing needs to be a little bit updated here. So what inspired you to play your game? So these are the most important ones. What contribution to the world? What the future do you see available as a result of playing the game? What opportunities you see available? How the team management leadership program supported your game. Team work must be demonstrated in the video. So those are the basic elements of the script. Maybe I should put the script template. It's a little more clear on there.
Yeah, but let's go through the must nots because that's really important too. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just go through that really quickly.
Okay.
So go ahead. So do not say like I'm, Mark from Team 2 Dallas or something, or you don't want to say anything about like who your team is, like your center team. It's not about your center team. It's about your game in the world teams. Okay. You don't want to call your game a project or even a game. You just want to speak about it in the present, like what you're up to. Okay. You at the call to action, it says do not invite people to play your game. You actually can invite people to play your game, right? That could be updated. You can't ask people to send money to you or buy your book, but you can show your book and say, for more information, you know, my book is available or whatever, or check out my website. Do not use jargon such as the possibility of my game or the distinction I had a breakthrough in. You don't want to like actually say it like that, but you want to make clear what is possible without saying the possibility that I'm creating. Like, so we don't want to talk landmark, but we want it to land or generate as such. So is that clear?
Yeah, your intended audience is the general public, not graduates of Landmark.
And your first audience is the participants of the team management leadership program, because if we're playing this at the weekend, that is your audience, right? So you can play to them and really have a call to action. They're up to big things, and really inspire people to, and enroll people to get what you're up to and play along with you, or, you know, to talk about it, whatever it is that you're creating. However, you can use your video for other platforms, right? So if you're creating a web series on the internet, they're not necessarily Landmark graduates, right? So you might want to show your video in your website, on your website, and it will land for them as well. Or use it for, you could, you know, in the future, you can use it for whatever you want in the future, okay? And you can edit it as well. So, all right, so I think we're clear with that. So let's get to the, let me see what time it is just to be.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes till.
Okay.
So we
Go ahead. So now we can go through what the script actually is.
yeah.
I mean, how to
Do we want
get
to
it
do
started.
elements of the Vivid Share here?
Yeah, we could do that. So it's, we'll go through the technology of it, right? The sharing of an incident that has a beginning, middle, and an end. You start in the middle of the incident, and in that, and we say incident, it doesn't have to be anything traumatic or whatever. It's just you get to a particular moment that inspired you to play your game. So what was it about your game that inspired you? And then you bring us into it, into as if you're in that actual moment. So Dana, would you share with us, because we just went through this before this call, before the webinar, and got to kind of like the point like that. So would you be willing to just share, like bring us to the moment where you're at, like your emotion kind of it?
Right.
Just that part.
So I was in absolute terror and fear, waking at night at crazy hours, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, choking and, you know, feeling hands wrapped around my throat in the middle of the night, and just feeling that there was no safe place for me to be.
Okay. So
with whatever was happening.
Right. So in that, it would just be, you know, I'm terrorized in bed, being choked, you know, like that. You would just get us right into the emotion and the place that you're at. It's a conversation that's being present, like you're presently there. You take us like as if we're watching it on the screen. I'm being choked, I'm choking in bed, I'm terrified. Just like that. Simple and vivid, okay? And then, okay, thank you. So so that's the vividness of that. It can be as vivid as possible, that what you smell, what you feel, what's around you. Okay, and then another part of the vivid share is there is a point to sharing. People are listening to who you're being, not what you're saying. Say less rather than more. They don't care what you have to say. It's not a story. It
Right.
is 50 seconds to 60 seconds of who you're being in it. Okay. I'm sorry. I just went up to the other part. So you're creating, now we'll go back here. You're putting your listener right in the thick of where you were. Okay. Then you tell one on yourself. This creates space for your, I don't know what this is. Can you move up a little bit in the paper? Okay, so you can start with the experience, and then you can go back to, like, you're starting in the middle, then you go back to the beginning of who you are, what your game is. So I created a game called, you know, whatever it is. And you don't want to say it like that either, but
Maybe
you want
we
to
can
get
go
the
back, look
point
at Eric's
across.
script over here, and we'll see what he said, okay?
Okay, that would be
Over there.
helpful.
So over here. So he just says, I need a break. And he put his hands up in the air, and that was his vivid share, the whole thing. I need a break. Do you see that?
Yeah, and in that he was, you know, he was piled up in emails. Here's a really good point. You can say less because your images, people are going to remember what they see over what they hear. Okay, so when you have your images support what you're saying, that is going to be the vivid part of it as well. So he was sitting at his desk, email beeping, and he just like, I need a break. And that said it all. Like, you don't have to say, I'm sitting in my office, I'm you know, overflowing with emails, because if you show that, that's going to be more vivid.
Right.
Okay, so that's the point there. Okay, so go ahead.
And let's see, we're doing the time. Okay, so yeah, it's well, like Lori, what Lori said, it's not saying that it's not explaining names, it's not explaining the date, it's not saying a story, it's really getting into the emotion of it. And I think a lot of people stumble over this because they want to explain, okay, it was April 3rd, you know, 2017, you know, the cloudiest day. And then they start, all of a sudden they realize that they lost a whole minute by explaining all this detail. It's just the emotion, I need a break.
Yeah, or I'm terrified, you know.
Terrified. I'm afraid, you know, oh my God, I had this crazy, you know, I'm inspired by something, you know, it's just like one step.
Okay, so then let's move on to, did everybody get that part right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to go back to Eric's? If we have time, it would be great to show his video and then go through a script.
I need a break. So I got away, far into the Grand Canyon, surrounded by stillness and beauty. And what I soon discovered was peace. So on my trek, I met a Native American elder who was inspired by my rediscovery and challenged me to bring others. Granogi created the experience of a lifetime in the remote Havasupai Canyon, causing amazing connections through outdoor adventure, yoga, meditation, and healthy living. Being on the team management and leadership program helped me to master who I'm being in the world through conversations to cause and empower successful teams and teamwork. 40 leaders were excited to help me create this 4-day event. 300 participants from all over the world hiked 10 miles to camp. Together, we experienced a renewed level of vitality, joy, freedom, unity, and love. We are committed to getting people unplugged and connected with others, nature, and self.
That
And
was pretty good.
yeah,
So you see how his images were way more important than his, not important than the script. They supported each other. All
So
right, so go ahead. So let's
meeting.
go. So do we have any questions so far?
yeah,
We can answer some questions.
yeah, because I want to be mindful and of the
Yeah, so we have 8
Time here.
minutes. So to get started, here's your first assignment is, if you choose to accept this, is to submit your rough draft script on a script template, right? So let's show you how to get the script template. It's on, let's do that. You would call
Okay,
it,
I'll do
you
that.
would
I'm
go to
pulling it
the
open
link.
now.
You go to the link on this email that has all of the information. It's like our little, to-do list this quarter for this. Just get on the email, look through the different links. On there, there's a script template. You would open that up, copy it on your own computer, download it, and then save a copy, and then it's yours, right? Don't write on the one. And then that one's a read only, and then you would upload it as an editable document.
Yeah. So
And just
I'll
start
share.
writing your script on there and submit it. And once you do that, you'll get a coach, probably Bob, I, or William, or CJ. We have maybe 4 different coaches. And
So
and then we'll give you feedback on that for each time you submit it. You'll get feedback within 48 hours, and then you'll be asked to make your updates in 48 hours. So you keep the ball rolling the whole time. If you drop the ball, you will probably not make your milestone to unfold your video, okay, for this particular weekend. Okay?
So Lori, this is Jennifer.
Yes.
So we're to email both Bob and you and the TMLP address that's on there?
So you would email it to, that would be smart of you, because we'll both be able to go into it. And whoever your coach is, Bob and I go into all of them, and we create feedback for all of them. So we're your coach, we're your coaches anyway, but you'll have one-on-one coaching as well. And then these calls also become coaching calls. So when you have a script, did you do a script, Jennifer?
I did. I emailed it on Thursday.
Okay, so here's what you need to do as well is text us. Whenever you're going to submit something by email, text us as well. Our number is on so that we can look for it, because we might not.
It's on the milestones. On the milestones. So here's the email that we were talking about. We sent, and then way down here at the bottom, the attached documents. You can click on the script template. Does everyone see that? Attached documents.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do the pencil here around it. There. So that's pretty cool. So so then you click on that link, and then you'll go into the script template. Let me see. Do you guys see the script template?
Yes.
On your screen? Okay, perfect. So what you first have to do is go into here and do a save, make a copy, So you save it, because you can't save onto this version. This is a template. So you make a copy, and then you can save this and start making your notes. And here's the checklist of items in your script template to unfold your video and work your way through it. So save a copy, save it as, I'll just do that. Just do it. Save a copy. We'll call it Bob's video, Bob Hooper video. So you save it as your name. So when we see it, we know, oh, that's his script. That's Jennifer's script. So we got this. So also we made a copy. We call it Bob Hooper video, and then you can start. And you can share it with us back here. Share it to TMLP video. You know, and then whatever it is, you know, cancel. You know, share it back to us. And you can work on your script here. And so then here's are the elements that you go through the what's the checklist that's still on the 7 steps document. Say what inspired you to play your game, the possibility of your game, you know, the elements that we talked about.
Yeah, so you're going to start vividly. I'm lying. I'm terrified. It's, you know, 3 a.m. I'm in bed. I don't feel safe.
Right. Yeah. And you can just start typing it into the squares here. And eventually, it'll take a few edits, but eventually you will get something that looks like a. Let's share it here. You know, you may get something that looks like this, that you'll have the audio on one column and then the video in the other column. I don't know why that square is there. So
Go back to the other one because it says audio.
okay.
Right here, yeah. So then his is, he extended it and put the time down for his editor, which was very smart.
So yeah, so then you just type in your script here. And then you'll share this document with Lori and I, and provide comments and stuff on this.
Yeah, and share it with editable rights so that we can edit right on there, and we'll make suggestions and or write on there the feedback. And when we're coaching, or on these calls, we can call up your script and you can make the changes as we're speaking. So you literally can update your script on these calls while we're speaking. Okay, so it makes it in real time very easy. You don't have to do a Word document, we send it, everybody has it, it's right here. Okay? Is that clear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. And that's really all you need to do to get started, is to get your script in, and then we'll go from there. And then once if you have images that you know what you're going to use, you can put it on the video side, what you're going to use to support it. You can start setting up your editor. If you don't have an editor, you can start having enrollment conversations with people on your team, either your Game in the World team, your center team. Does anybody know how to do editing? Most of us have a nephew or high school kid that we know, a daughter, who can do editing. They're all the young people are pretty savvy at these things. It's not that difficult, but it is a little bit. You know, if you don't have any technical savvy, I still can't edit my own, so I'm not that person. But I know a lot of people that I can enroll in it. The other thing that we will look for, people that created an interest form that said they would be willing to contribute. Like if, I'm gonna find your Rodney. Rodney, are you an editor? Are you somebody that could contribute?
Sorry, I have
as an
another call.
editor?
I have to jump, but thank you.
Okay,
I'll
you're
talk to you
welcome.
guys soon. Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
awesome.
All right. So yeah, you create your own team of editors and stuff, and I want to just.
Yeah, it's 10:01, so
So we'll dive in. We have another webinar scheduled later, so we will dive into that. We'll dive into that, you know, at our next webinar.
yeah. So Rodney, are you somebody that could contribute as an editor?
I have very little experience with this stuff. That's why I'm here, is just to kind of discover what's
Okay,
available. My wife does, and I'm kind of learning from her too. So, you know, I'm trying
okay, cool.
to get up to speed and see where the opportunity is for me right now, because I'm kind of wanting to look at all of the stuff that's on Team and Beyond
Yeah,
in a place.
So yeah, so then you could on our email there's a the link to the DaVinci Resolve website, and they have training videos and training exercises to train yourself
Oh.
video editing
Awesome.
for anyone.
Yeah.
They're either you could do it, or and there's other free there's like 5 or 6 really good free video editing programs. So this is
Great.
the I use.
you see here where it says DaVinci Resolve Training?
Yeah, did you see that? I'm right here. Yeah, it says
He's pointing to it.
yep, right here.
Okay,
Yep.
I got it now. Yep, free.
Free.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so that's the one. They have training exercises you can go through. You can download the exercise, watch the video, go step by step, train yourself, or you can ask like your high school nephew to do it, and then you can. They'll go, oh, I'll do that. I'll get paid to do this, and I did. That's happened a fair amount of times. Or you may know someone who knows video editing.
Or your wife might.
Right?
You know, it's building teams and teamwork, and that's what we're about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you. And Jennifer, before we take off, do you have particular questions? So you said that let's just try and find your script. Bob, can you?
Okay.
Let's
Because
go
you
back
said
to-
you
So I
submitted
just
the
shared
script
it.
on Thursday.
Yeah,
So let's be mindful of Jennifer and look for her script.
Is it the boob ride?
Yes.
yes.
All right.
So their word attachment.
There it is.
Okay, so let's open that quickly.
Do you see it?
Yes. Okay,
Mhm.
good. This is good. You took the coaching. Bob, can you stay on for a few minutes just so we can get through her script quick? She can generate it once for us, maybe?
Sure.
Okay, and then I'll time you, and then we can make feedback offline and stuff. But thank you for.
Yeah, this is what your typical first call will be like when you turn in a script. So this is good.
All right, so
And
Jennifer,
it's currently
go ahead.
it's currently 75 seconds. So
Oh, you did.
if you
Okay,
need some
great.
help cutting it down.
That's awesome. All right, we'll go ahead and do it. Generate it like you would it, like with meaning, and you know, don't rush
Okay.
through it.
I'm standing in a crowded restaurant that's been completely taken over by cyclists, volunteers, and supporters, and I'm amazed at what my team has been able to create. I'm thinking back to how my mom's diagnosis felt devastating, but it's brought so many phenomenal people into my life, and it produced the Boob Ride. We run a bike ride to raise money for breast cancer patients who are in need of things like transportation to treatment, meal prep, paying for utilities and mortgages so that they can focus on healing in their last mile of treatment. The Boob Ride creates camaraderie and fun to celebrate survivors and honor those who have lost their battle. Our riders love that 100% of their fees go directly to the breast cancer patients and that we are an all-volunteer organization. My team is made up of 4 irreverent and fun people who are deeply committed to solving challenges that come up for breast cancer patients. 3 of us have been directly affected by breast cancer, and 1 just wants to throw a great party. The first year of the Boob Ride, we had 30 riders and raised 800 people. By being on the team management and leadership program, we now have 300 participants and have raised over $130,000 for breast cancer patients. We can't wait to go national, so come on out and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, good. Very good.
Very
So
good,
that's,
yeah.
that is 1:24 seconds, okay? And you didn't include what your major breakthrough was, just that you had one. So what I want to know also is, so how did you go from $800 and 30 riders to 300 people and whatever that was? I can't see now because Bob raised it up. So, but there, and it doesn't even feel too long. It's just that we only have 60 seconds, but you don't go into a lot of story. It's still interesting. So what I would, my feedback would be, we would go through it line by line, you
Right.
go through it line by line, and just cut out the things that are not that are not 100% necessary in it at this point, right?
Okay.
So you say our riders love that 100% of their fees go directly to the breast cancer patients, and that we are all volunteer organization. That's pretty important. So I would go through it line by line and see where you could cut out, you know, a couple words here and a couple words there, and just kind of minimalize it a little bit. Like, otherwise you structured it very well. I'm
Right.
impressed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like the thing, I'm standing in a crowded restaurant and the place is overtaken by cyclists, volunteers, and supporters, and I am amazed what my team has created. So you're basically describing a picture, something visually where you can actually show it visually and not have to say it.
Right. Right. That's also that's where, like, when he said I need a break, we got what I need a break was, because you can show us being in this crowd of your team and, you know, supporters, and then you don't have to say it. Then you can say,
The only
you know,
problem, yeah, the only problem with not saying it is if it's just an image or video of a crowded restaurant. It's just a crowded restaurant.
no,
Like I wanted to describe
not a crowded restaurant, but a crowd of cyclists taking over the restaurant, you know, like.
And then you can say, I am amazed that I created this with my teamwork.
Yeah, so we don't want to see a crowded restaurant. We want to see a crowd of cyclists.
Right, and that's the image, but you know, it's, if you just look at the image, it's just a bunch of people. I'm not quite sure they would get what it is. It's just,
No,
it
so
is a crowded restaurant and people are in cycling kits, you know, but that may not land for some people.
No, but then you can say, I can't believe what you can still say it, but you might not have to say as many words.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? You don't have to say, I'm standing in a crowded restaurant that has been completely taken over by cyclists. You can just say, I'm here, like, here I am with cyclists, volunteers, and supporters. I'm amazed, you know, what we created this thing. Like, you can just, so do you get the difference?
I do now.
Yeah, and you only have to cut out like 25 seconds or around 25 seconds. So if you cut out 5 seconds of words here and 5 seconds there, like, it's going to come out quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think for that, I think, like, and this is what you want to portray and show, and I get that. And if you have the image of the people at the party already, hold on 1 second. I'll just, that's my daughter. But, okay, so, yeah, I think that would work too, because you don't have to say, here, I'm standing. We'll see you standing in a crowded
Okay.
restaurant, right? But
Right.
you still want to portray that. Then you can say, I'm thinking back to my mom's diagnosis, devastated, you know, but it brought me so many phenomenal people in my life and produced the Boob Ride. So that may not be necessary. You could just say, I created the Boob Ride, right? Like thinking back to
Yeah,
my
well,
mom.
you can just say you know, at one point I was devastated with my mom's breast cancer, but now I created this boob ride. You know, it could be just because you're saying like, I'm thinking back.
Right. And then,
If it-
and so you want to say, like, you do want to say it was your mom that inspired you, her diagnosis inspired you to
Right.
create this Boob Ride, right?
Yeah, you
So
were
that's
here,
Right.
now you're there.
right. And then that's great. You just say it briefly like that. And then what you want to get into is we run a bike ride to raise money for breast cancer patients who are in need of things like transportation, treatment, meal prep. You don't have to list every single one of those things either, but we want to know that it's breast cancer patients who are in need of, I like that it's there. You can even put it on the screen. Treatment, meal prep, mortgage, this, that, right? You can kind of text it on the screen as well, or show images that would portray that as well, right? And then the
Okay.
Boob Ride, go back. The Boob Ride creates camaraderie and fun to celebrate survivors and honor those who have lost their battle. Our riders love that 100%, and then again, I would put like 100% of fees go directly to patients, and we're all volunteers. You know, like you want to stress certain things in image as well as saying it, right? So that would stand
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
And then, where's the Boob Ride? Go down, Bob. My team is made of four irreverent and fun people who are deeply committed to solving challenges that come up. We don't need to have that. 3 of us have been, so we would want to know, my team is made up of 4 irreverent and fun people who are deeply committed, right? And what are their roles is what we want to know. Not that they're just solving challenges that come up for breast. Like 3 of us have been directly affected by, we know that you're affected by breast cancer, and you could say that, and it's not necessary. If you had to cut something out, this would be something that you could cut out. 3 of us have been directly affected, and 1 just wants to throw a great party. Like, we know everybody there wants to be there, right? So you don't necessarily have to say that if you're looking for things to take out, okay? What I'm more interested in knowing from team is the first year, the Boob Ride, we had 30 riders and raised $800. By being on the team management leadership program, we now have 300 participants and raised $130,000, right? So that's a huge expansion. So what was it? How did you get from that to that? That's what team, if you're doing this video to show that the team management leadership program causes people to be up to big things and then really expands on what they could do prior to what they're doing now. That's kind of the meat right there, right?
Okay.
So how did you get from one to the next, and what was your big breakthrough on team that allowed you to, what distinction of the team management leadership program did you have a breakthrough in? That's a question.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not quite sure how to sum it up in a, you know, manageable chunk. And what it boils down to is creating teams and teamwork and being committed and not attached.
Okay,
So-
so being what I would hear in here is, because we don't want to hear, I was able to create teams. We want to know how you're able to create teams that work, right? So being committed and not attached, that's something you could say. I was
Okay.
able to give up my attachments and stand in my commitment, you know? And now I'm able to, I went from, these are outcomes, right? So I actually started with 30 riders, raised 800 by, you know, on the team management leadership program. I had a breakthrough in giving up my attachments and just standing in my commitment. Now we have 300 participants and raised over $130,000 that goes straight
I
to
got it.
breast cancer patients. Just as simple as that, right?
Mhm.
That's simple and clear. We can't wait to go
Okay.
national, so come out and enjoy the ride. Okay, so we're committed to taking this nationally. And then come out and enjoy the ride with us. And then you can show pictures of how to get connected to this ride. Like, how do I just come out and join the ride? Okay, well, get me connected by your website, by, you know, open this link and join a ride
Okay.
in your area.
Yeah, we have
or
all that.
start a ride in your town or whatever, like, you know. And when you say we want to go national, do you want to have the ride all on the same day, so that there's multiple cities doing the ride, like all in the same day? Like, if this is the day of, you know how they do that breast cancer run and all that.
Yeah, and typically when we had a ride in Pennsylvania, it was on a different day, usually
Okay, a
around the
different
same
day.
month. So-
Okay, so that's fine. So, I mean, however you are structuring it, you might just want to be a little bit more clear here, because this is just, we can't wait to go national, so come out and enjoy the ride. That's not very clear of how to do it
Okay.
or what you're up to. It's just saying it really thrown in there, right? Which is okay, but we're like, I'm committed to taking this, making this a national ride. Looking for, you know, so a call to action would be start a ride in your city, open the, you know, check out my website to find out how.
Okay.
You can have like a web link. You can add like a web link to the side here. Put some notes here.
Sure.
Or if there's another way that you are creating that, like it's you've already taken it from 30 to 300, so you have a plan, but you just want to share the plan briefly of how we can do this. Yeah, I want to start a ride here too. How can I do it?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And that, yeah. And so we already have a playbook for how to create a ride in your town.
Okay,
and so
good.
it's just a vetting process. Yeah.
Right. So you want to say that then, so people know that. So you're saying,
Okay.
we're going to take this nationally, and I've created a playbook so that you could do it. Please,
There
you
you
know,
go.
open the link to that, show the playbook so that they can see how easy it is. All I have to do is open this, and it will give me instructions on what to do and hook me up with the people I need to be hooked up with, and just opening it up. And, you know, that's great. So that's awesome. So you want to highlight that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, good.
Cool.
All right, you got a good start there, so thank you. And
Sure.
yeah, just go through, and then we'll give you a coach in the next, maybe it's by tomorrow, Bob, huh?
Yeah, I
If
can.
you want to be your coach, you want me to, what? Who else is?
Yeah, well, yeah, you could do it, Lori. If you want.
All right, because I just took on Dina too. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I can work with you, Jennifer. That's not a problem.
Okay. And I already have a team for the video, creating the video.
Awesome. So I would, yeah, so let's have a call tomorrow. If you could go through and just make some of those changes that we just talked about and actually put up your, I want to see your playbook. I want to hear you mention that playbook in there. And you can take out a little bit of, I would take out this, my team is made of, you know, that part. I would be more direct.
I mean, but all the elements are there.
Yeah, except for
Yeah, they're there. Just kind of make it
there.
The flow has got to be you got to say less. That's about the only thing.
Just a little bit less, yeah. So go through it, take out and just make a couple of the changes that we talked about, and then send me a text message. You have my phone number? It's on the top of the email.
I think so.
It's on the top of the
okay,
email.
yeah, definitely then.
Right, Bob?
Yeah, it should be on the
Yeah, so
timeline.
anytime you're going to correspond with us by email, just send me a text message as well and say,
Sure.
I just updated my script. Please take a look at it, okay? Otherwise, I probably will get lost.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Well, let's,
thank you.
I gotta run. This has been
We're gonna all
awesome.
run now.
Alrighty.
But I'm glad that we gave you the opportunity to generate your script, Jennifer. Wish you would have spoken up quicker and said, hey, can I generate my script?
Oh.
But it's good.
Well, thank you so much for the coaching.
Yeah, good job. Good job. All right, and I'll look for it tomorrow. If you can update it tomorrow or Monday, then we'll have a coaching call then, okay?
So, yeah, so our next
great.
is scheduled for March 14th.
Okay.
So that's 2 weeks from today with Greg. So
Yeah, Greg will be doing that.
But we also have one on, this is the list. I don't know if you can see the list right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, transformative, that's social media, empowering your video draft. So we have Greg on the 14th. Branding, well, a branding webinar, and then we have a social media webinar, but we will have a follow-up webinar in 2 weeks.
Great.
All right, awesome. Moving right along. I love it.
All
Okay,
right.
thanks, Bob. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, everyone, for making
All right.
top of my head.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.